as much as I'd love to sit here and say, I of course will enjoy Tazavesh, so I will do it no matter what if there's no rewards. That's not how the World of Warcraft is designed. That's not how anyone plays it as well. You know, the hypothetical anyone. I'm sure some people do, but like if I'm doing anything in World of Warcraft, if there's not a relevant player power reward, I'm just like, because that's how I've been trained.
That is how you've been trained by the game.
I'm not doing that. Get away, like.
And there are so many ways to make this whole thing just better and work.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the I think where we get onto the thing of in our time to be constructive segment of the document.
Bring up on stream for you here.
So in our time to be constructive bit, we have points such as drop Tazavesh gear at item level 226 and just say it's upgrade level 6 out of 12 or however many upgrade levels there are.
Yep.
That's one thing that could work really well. Another one. Play close attention to the balance of Soleil's trinket and other items. Just tune them versus raid items.
It's
important.
Yeah, that's the kind of because that's one of the things people will have a problem with if this gear is upgraded. Because Soleil's, I mean, I don't know how balanced it is, but Soleil's secret technique is the one that gives yourself and an ally extra of, I think it's their highest secondary stat. So it's a case of if everyone's rocking Soleil's or Soleil's and you give it your highest DPS or something, then you know you've got a bit of a balance issue. Not quite as bad as I expect with like a Shara's trinket, but still a case of if the best trinket's Tazavesh, really best, then people will start like fighting for it and feel they need it. So pay attention to that to make sure it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Just go tuning knob down. There you go.
Yeah, we don't want the whole thing to be, you know, who's got the razor coil or whatever it was.
Yeah, the razor coil. Yeah.
Razor coil. Yeah.
Yep.
Now then, the next thing is there's a fundamental issue. When you get Valor points, you should feel like that's something you want to spend. Right now, you're wrong for doing that. Now, the criticisms of the VP system have been there from a lot of the Mythic Plus community since the day Blizzard announced the new VP system. And I think that's fair, because the new VP system, as I said at the time, step in the right direction, but it's so full of flaws.
Yeah.
And it's just that thing. I get some Valor points. Oh, I'm actually thinking I have to hoard those Valor points for 3, 4, 5 weeks time until, if I was a Mythic Plus player, which I'm not, but I do want to get Keystone Master in the new patch, so maybe I will be. But you're thinking, well, no, I want to hoard these Valor points for the next 4 weeks until I'm pushing higher keys, because that means the base item level gear will be high enough that it's worth me putting the VP into that gear, because I only get so much VP in a full season.
Yeah.
Right? So that's obviously a weird way for the reward system to work. And the really funny thing is there are other ways. We have an idea. This is a funny one because you and Dakor came up with this idea independently.
Yeah.
So the idea is perhaps use Valor to upgrade above 226/239 and Justice. What's the slash for?
/239. Basically either or, because
Gotcha.
226 is the 226 is the normal level, 239 is heroic level.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, so it's either normal or heroic. Whatever decision works better for whatever works for the player base in general, I think. Because it's like Mythic players will want it to be 239, heroic players will want it to be 226. So you kind of have it as like whoever would be implementing this system would have to think about that based on the statistics they have of how many people do what activity.
Yeah.
And who they want to cater for more. So I was like, I wouldn't make that decision on their behalf. I would personally say probably 226. So it'll fit my sort of play a little bit better, but...
So the idea basically is you have Justice points and Valor points. Valor points are capped. Justice points are not. You can use Justice points to grind your gear, just straight up grind your gear up to a certain item level.
Yeah.
And then beyond that threshold, you've got to use the week or the seasonally capped Valor points currency for your upgrades. And the overall point here is that is a lot more similar to Honor and Conquest than Valor points are to Conquest right now. And that would basically give us a sort of thing where, it's like, do you want to sit down, play WoW, upgrade your gear? Go. That's a lot of gameplay. Go.
Yeah.
You want to get a new alt? Your fresh alt, want to get its gear up? There's a way to do it. Go. And that would be great because, right now, maybe you're doing that in Korthia. But maybe for a type of player, they'd rather do it via, training up in their dungeons to get used to them. And also, it would mean the Justice points would be a new way to reward players for activities throughout the game. Just another perk.
Imagine getting Justice points for world quests.
Some people will love that. Some people will not like it.
So,
But you know what? Because it's an uncapped currency and it doesn't matter, it's fine.
Exactly. Just go, you know what? You want some of these, I'm sorry for doing this. You want some of these elegant tombstones of allegory? Go do any content you want, ostensibly. So it's the same with justice. Like you log in, you're like, well, my character's not at the level where I need to transcend and push for what I'm doing. So like as an example here, you'd be below 2d6. So you just go, okay, I get in, I can do whatever I want, and then especially if you have a way to funnel justice to alts, then you've got that situation where, especially if it's 2d6, I don't think anyone would have a big issue with someone being like fully normal geared without actually playing that class. I mean, there's obviously issues to it, but it's just the amount of freedom you would have to just play whatever you want.
Oh, it would make me so much more. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, obviously, you'd probably do the same with having honor for like PvP world quests or something like that. And you just have this like almost this utopia of you're always making progress in some capacity towards your alt. Yeah. As opposed to you're logging in and there's a list of chores. You're like, oh,
see, that feels great.
Don't want to go near Torghast again.
That idea. It's like I know one of the things they love in SWTOR is you can send gear to your alts in a pretty liberal manner. Yeah. I'm not saying we should do that, but I don't know, maybe if you could send your justice points to an alt or something like that. And maybe Blizzard would worry, oh dear, this would cut out gameplay and cut out progression for players. Well, I'm thinking that would actually make it feel like way more of the stuff you do in your main actually matters and is useful, which is going to make you feel like it just playing the game is a more positive relationship.
Especially because it's different to Honor and Conquest in that you don't buy gear. So if you want BIS, if you want like normal raid tier BIS on an alt, you still need to do the dungeons.
Yeah, exactly.
At a Mythic 0 or Mythic 2 or Mythic 4 or whatever else. And then you've got that like linear progression of, do you want to do the harder content and save some justice, or do you want to farm it out? And then that would feel a lot more, freeing, but still require you to play that spec, or at least that character in dungeons to get that BIS gear.
There you go. Yeah. Now it's all working pretty well. A way for some shared progression without people being like, oh dear, there's the newbie who bought all their gear.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, good. Well, we'll send them an invoice for that one as well.
Man,
the invoices are racking up, aren't they?
I swear to God, if 10.0 or 9.2 has any of these ideas, I actually will send an invoice. I was like, right. It will be six figures as well. It will be.
We will send them a joke invoice.
Yes, a joke invoice. Absolutely. 100%.
Yes, that's it. We'll just sit there, F5ing the bank account. Just F5 that PayPal, being like, come on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man. So that's the situation. Look, this is a case of we're all excited for Tazavesh. We all know it's great. The PTR made people think that upgrades would be a thing. Yeah. And while there were issues with the specific implementation of those upgrades as they were initially in PTR, the gist that people got in their heads was, oh, upgrades in the new Mega Dungeon. That's really cool. Oh, and by the way, it's also completely logical because technically Tazavesh is a Mythic 0 dungeon. Yes. And right now in the game, Mythic 0 gear is upgradable. So therefore, if you're using all these arguments of, but it wasn't, it was in the past, you're literally incorrect if you use that argument because M0 gear is upgradable in the new system. So, yeah, tough luck. You're wrong. You're wrong. Try again. To the people who are super defense force over that one.
GG, go next, like.
Yeah. GG. No re.
Yeah. Speaking of GG, go next. Time to go next. Although I think that usually I think GG go next is used in the context of, well, that absolutely sucked. Let's just reset and try again. But this case is GG go next. Let's go for another victory.
Yeah, and look,
this one really is, by the way.
Just to say, I do enjoy the whole, getting animated with this. It's far more fun. So, I do play it up a little bit to have some banter.
That's great.
Not like a character playing thing, but it's just, it's sort of fun to just get a little bit, go crazy with it as you age.
Yes, and it's also very
So it's like maybe you're 21 years old and you're like, oh, we're doing this. We're going to do YouTube content. Oh, I'm going to put a stick up my ass. But then it's like we've been doing this for a few years. We're comfortable with it. So now it's just like, let's have fun.
Yeah.
Let's have fun.
Yeah, no, I don't. Like,
Far more so.
like I said, I think this is the best part of my week every week. Like,
Yeah.
even throwing this document, I'm just flinging shit in, but like, hope somebody gets a laugh out of this. Maybe I can act like a goon whenever this comes up. But